My name is Jonathan Cohen. I'm a partner at Next Law Professional Corporation. I'm here with criminal lawyer Dan Joffe, who is a senior lawyer here at Next Law. This is our second video on one of the most common and important questions we get at our law firm, which is whether it's possible to get criminal charges withdrawn even when it appears that the client is guilty. If you haven't seen our first video, just send us a message. We'll send you a link to that video, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dan, please give us a quick recap from that first video. Just let us know how someone can get their charges withdrawn even when they appear to be guilty.
Sure, John. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees certain rights to everyone in Canada from the actions of the government. And for someone that faces a criminal charge, the Charter is a big, big deal because that Charter is designed to protect you from the actions of the police and the courts. And there have been thousands of court cases that have interpreted the details of the Charter. These cases ultimately define how the police must, it's not a choice, how they must conduct themselves in every interaction with you. And this is not optional. The police have to do their job the right way, and there is a right way and a wrong way as the police deal with your charges. And we're all human. We all make mistakes, and so do police officers. They make mistakes too, just like us. And especially those officers who are not as experienced. They make even more mistakes than usual. And when a police officer makes a mistake, that mistake can be fatal to the charges against you. And if a mistake is fatal, the charges against you can get withdrawn even if you appear to be guilty.
Okay, in our last video, you had discussed some examples where the clients had their charges withdrawn under a section of the Charter that protects someone from an unreasonable search and seizure. A lot of times we hear about people having the right to a lawyer. Is there something about that right in the Charter, and can you give another example?
Yeah. I mean, under Section 10 of the Charter, everyone has the right to counsel, a right to be assisted by a lawyer, and not just any lawyer. You have the right to be assisted by a lawyer of your choice.
And is there an example that you can give where the police made a mistake in this context that resulted in charges being withdrawn?
Yeah, sure. Here's an example where the police made a mistake in the context of the police charging someone with a DUI, or driving under the influence. The police pulled over a suspect, let's call him Stephen, a real client, but we're going to change his name, on the belief that he was intoxicated. The police officer demanded that Stephen blow into a breathalyzer, and he blew over the legal limit. The police arrested Stephen, took him to the police station to be processed. Stephen said he wanted to speak with his lawyer and gave the lawyer's name and number to the police officer. The police called the lawyer, but the lawyer was not there, so the police left a voicemail. The police then called duty counsel. Now, duty counsel are lawyers paid for by Legal Aid in Ontario, and they're available 7/24 to help people who don't have proper legal representation. The police did, in fact, get in contact with the duty counsel and gave the phone to Stephen, who then spoke to duty counsel. Now, yes, Stephen was given access to a lawyer, but in this case, the police made a really big mistake. The police officer did not make a real effort to get in touch with the lawyer that Stephen wanted to speak with. So simply calling the lawyer that Stephen wanted and leaving a voicemail, and then providing Stephen with access to a different lawyer, in this case duty counsel, breached Stephen's right to counsel of his own choosing. Now, the officer should have asked our client whether he wanted to wait to try the lawyer he wanted again, or the police officer should have asked Stephen whether he wanted us to put him in touch with a different lawyer. But the officer didn't do that. And because of this big mistake, the fact that Stephen was intoxicated and the fact that Stephen was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol did not matter. The mistake was so big and so core to Stephen's charter rights that the charges were withdrawn, and Stephen walked away as if nothing ever happened.
So that's obviously a very helpful example. Is there anything you want to leave the viewers of this video with?
Again, this is examples real. We've hid the client's name to protect confidentiality, but most people who face a criminal charge wouldn't even know that the police were not following the rules. And the reason why is these rules are incredibly complex. Every fact situation is different and should be reviewed closely to see if there is a possibility to have your charges withdrawn.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. If you like these videos, if you find them helpful in any way, just click subscribe down below to the right. We're always coming out with new videos to help you out, give you good information. And thanks again, Dan.
Thank you, John.